I know you're going through mood swings and hot flashes, and you're under a lot of pressure.
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ।
तो ना जब से तू सीएम बनी है ना, ये तेरी बहस करने की आदत दिन ब दिन बढ़ती चली जा रही है।
Frustrated, Gussel, sensitive, or bhavuk. What do these words have in common? They are all used to describe women in leadership positions. Society the world over endorses the stereotype that women lead from the heart and that it's unleaderlike to display emotions in positions of power. But this trope doesn't seem to apply to men who lead scot-free while getting upset and angry in boardrooms. Why? Scientifically, all genders report emotions at the same rate, but science seems to have failed the patriarchal society's understanding of traditional gender roles and behaviors.
So while men are conditioned to be emotionally expressive about being aggressive, being that go-getter, being that decision maker, force of nature that leads something, women on the other hand are being conditioned and nurtured to be a caretaker, to cater to the needs of people around them, while men are being told not to express certain emotions like sadness and pain. That line, "Mard ko dard nahi hota hai." We have to take that word emotional out and we have to replace it with emotional intelligence, emotional quotient.
Society chooses to see and hold only women accountable for their EQ because it's threatening that emotionally expressive women don't match the traditional norms of masculine leadership. This sexist trope undermines women in boardrooms, executive roles, and politics. It questions their decision-making sense and discredits their leadership style. Take, for example, Hillary Clinton or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who found it difficult to shed this emotional label not because of their ability to lead, but because of their gender. Closer home, the late Jayalalitha, Mamata Banerjee, and Mayawati have met the same fate. They resorted to muting their sexuality, body, and emotions in order to be taken seriously as their male counterparts. It's also interesting to see how their emotional motherly figure personas eventually reflected in their titles as Amma, Didi, and Behenji, which resonated with their fans and supporters. But what's the price of daring to lead as a woman in a man's world?
We see a lot of women also fighting that dilemma with that, no, now I'm in workplace. I actually should keep my caring side aside. I have to be as practical as the other counterparts because that is expected out of me. I have to stray away from expressing my emotions. I have to stay away from not caring too much about what's happening in other people's life, in my team. I don't really have to be the person who cares or who nurtures because that's not the trait of a leader. There's so many times in order to be heard, a woman has to finally raise her voice because as long as she's speaking softly and nicely and politely, nobody gives a damn.
And that paves the way for women to walk into the counter stereotype that women in power are too cold, difficult, or aggressive, which is just another way of deeming them unfit for important roles. But time and again, women have demonstrated success as leaders by leading with empathy, kindness, and assertiveness. This forms the backbone of feminist leadership, a style that's come to the fore in the pandemic.
These traits do make a difference, and more outreach, asking about other people's life. What is it that will create that delight and satisfaction and productivity factor for my team members? That's what women are bringing to the team. They're curious.
We mustn't ask our women to bottle up or change their natural style of leadership by holding them up to standards that fail humanity, but question the foundation of the male-dominated leadership itself.